Hey guys, back right after that last quick victory with another rapid game against bady67, rated 2209. Two whites in a row. So lucky. Provisional bullet rating 1161. I see. Well, we have a reverse Grünfeld. Let's see how bady67 likes to play it. Looks like we have an exchange. Will he go e5? He does. I can castle here and avoid bishop b4 check stuff, but I actually think the bishop b4 check stuff is not very good for white or black, so I like to play c4 first and see if I can trick people into playing this move. The problem is that the bishop's a little bit loose on this square, and actually giving up your dark squared bishop for this knight leaves black pretty weak to this kind of stuff. Oh my god, he did it. The trick worked. d4 doesn't really work. That's the crux of the issue. I think maybe when people play this check, they think that attacking this using this pin works, but it actually just doesn't. So yeah, and the problem is now I think that after c takes d5, c takes d5 is not possible because of queen a4 check. So he has to take with the knight, and then I've already sort of won the strategic battle here by shattering his pawns. Now I wonder if I can castle here. Seems like I can. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get this thing the heck out of Dodge. Taking this way, of course, allows this, and probably, or some variation on that, and probably black's in a lot of trouble, and taking here, b takes, is going to leave him without a dark square bishop, and he's probably not going to be happy about that. I already quite like white's position quite a bit more, but we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, so take there. He sort of feels like he has to castle now, but yeah. And now what? So I have the two bishops. I have this weak c6 pawn. c3 is hanging. That's a thing. So maybe, probably just c4 is good. But I'm wondering about bishop a3 as well. Bishop a3, knight c3, queen c2 loses in exchange. I can go bishop a3, rook e8, c4. I don't know if that actually changes anything. I'm guessing he would go knight e7 in that. Oh, he can't go knight e7. So am I just winning a pawn there? He has to go. So bishop a3, rook e8, c4. If knight e7, queen takes d8, rook takes d8, bishop takes e7, wins the knight. So that's not good. So bishop a3, rook e8, c4. Probably knight b6. And then bishop takes c6. All right, well, let's do this. I can also go rook e8, c4, knight b6, queen takes d8, rook takes d8, bishop takes c6, and then he has to either go rook b8 or bishop h3 to save the exchange. And probably that is one benefit to flicking in bishop a3 before playing c4 that I saw earlier, is that if he has to go rook e8 and then I take on d8, I actually just win this tempo for free compared to, really, I thought the knight wasn't getting out after this. What kind of sorcery am I missing here? Did he think I was going to take here and then he gets to flick in this check? Or does he think his position's so bad that he needs to go for scummy stuff like this? I don't understand. These are the types of positions that I waste a ton of time in because I just can't believe that this is a move. Yeah, if queen d4, bishop b2. was his idea here? Queen a5, perhaps. Yeah, that's a thing. It's c6 is still hanging, though, and after bishop a5, bishop b2, he's got this thing hanging and this thing hanging at the same time. He has to play knight a4 and then bishop c6. I'm guessing I'm just winning there. Yeah, only move. Only move pretty much for white. I can't really move my queen to a square like b3 because knight e2 check. And by I can't really, I mean I really can't. Shout out to all the Game of Thrones fans out there. Last night's episode, fairly sweet. It's heating up. I think next episode is where, you know, the ish is going to really start hitting the fan. Really? All right. I will take it. I guess he just doesn't want to lose c6. He'd rather lose the knight, but... He's just down a piece. So how do I punish him in the most accurate way now with my extra stuff? I think rook f to d1, threatening rook d7 is a pretty good start. This bishop on b7 is very bad. Very poorly placed. Sure. Maybe c5. Just looking to go rook d6. Also making sure he can't play c5 himself and free up this very sad bishop. That seems good enough. I don't think I have to spend a huge amount of time trying to figure out what the exact best move is. This move seems quite good. If he stops rook d6 by going rook f d8 or rook a to d8, I can exchange and then... Yeah, I see your plan. Not all that concerned. So he's probably going to go bishop a6, but the problem is bishop a6 now leaves c6 hanging after something like... Can I get in? How do I get in? Queen c4. Do I just play rook a to d1? Yeah, I'm just going to play rook a to d1. Again, if he goes... if he goes bishop a6, I'll just put my queen on e4 or g4 or h5. And then c6 is doomed. So now we're just turning the screws. I like the c5 move a lot, actually. Rook d7's a threat now. And if he goes... Yeah. Bishop a6 is fine. Probably queen g4, actually. The reason being is that now rook d7 actually threatens mate. So let's do that. And if he decides to take off a set of rooks after this, maybe I can get in with queen e6 check. The only thing I have to watch out for is him like exchanging a bunch of stuff and allowing him queen d1 check, which would immediately kill me. So that's pretty much, it feels like the only way he's ever going to win this game. Or the only way I can lose this game. I lost an OTB game recently. Yeah, I think it's in a public study on my channel, in my profile, if you want to go check it out. I have an OTB games study on Lee chess. You can check it out. Rook a to d8 was really bad. um, and um, I lost a game recently in a completely winning position. It was 5 versus 3, pawns all on the same side. So I'm up 2 pawns in a double rook ending. So it's just 2 rooks versus 2 rooks. I have 5 pawns. He has 3 pawns. And I actually had all of the positional advantages too. Like my king was more active, my rooks were more active. I had like mate threats with my double rooks that were making it hard for him to activate his pieces. Literally, like I was winning so bad that a guy said he was ready to mark the win on the score sheet even when the game was going already. An observer wanted to mark like the tournament standing score sheet with a win for me when the game was not even over yet, and I ended up losing. I lost it in basically the only way I could physically lose it. I helpmated myself. I had my king in front of like my pawns, and I had my king basically sandwiched between my pawns and his pawns, and I allowed like some really adorable uh, rook check on like a square that was protected by my pawn because he like pinned it, and it was like the weirdest mate ever. Probably 97% of the time I win that game. 2 times I like draw it by some freak miracle, and like 1 time I lose it and I lost it. But my point is that when you're so winning like this, really the only thing you need to start thinking about is like what are the ways I can lose this game and what are the ways I can draw this game? Like how is my opponent who's desperate to kind of scam me somehow at this point? How is he going to get me here? How's he going to scam me out of a win? And so that's I think what you have to think about a little bit in those positions. I think that helps a lot. And that's the lesson I took away from that game. Okay, so I think we've had reverse Grünfelds on my channel before. And I had never studied this opening until recently because I played the Grünfeld as black, and for the most part, I just find white's play to be extremely intuitive here. If you play the Grünfeld as black, of course, playing the Grünfeld up a tempo is not that hard, and it's really not that common either because after knight f3, usually people try and stay consistent with what they play against d4 openings, because if you knight f3 can frequently transpose to either the English or the d4 openings. After d5, white is free to go d4. And so if you play d4, d5, for instance, d5 is a useful answer to knight f3. Because if d4, then you can usually go, knight f6, and if c4, c6, you're in a Slav. If c4, e6, you're in, a Queen's Gambit or a Catalan or whatever. And if you take, then you're in a Queen's Gambit accepted. And if white doesn't play that move, like g3, like I play, you can play some independent option like bishop g4 or whatever and keep a good position. But it's rare that people choose the reverse Grünfeld, actually. Some people, maybe Tarish players, might choose to go something like knight f6 here, and after castles, go e6 and just transpose after c4, for instance. But yeah, I haven't studied this opening much because it doesn't come up that much, and I feel like it's pretty intuitive for white. But recently, I looked at it a bit. I looked at this exchange variation a bit, and I realized that if white wants to really cut down on the number of positions he sees, like the number of types of positions, probably castles is a little bit better, because black almost unilaterally plays knight f6 here, maybe bishop c5 every now and then after c4, there are only really a couple moves, bishop e6, bishop e7, and rook b8. I would consider the main moves here and the most natural moves. And so white can cut down on a lot of theory by playing castles first. c4 sort of gives black the liberty, I think, to play a little bit more options, but for instance, one of them being bishop b4 check, which I noticed people really like to play. But when I looked at it, I thought that knight c3 was actually quite good for white. So, and the point is, after this, I think queen a4 is probably just better for white. c6 is hanging, this bishop is hanging, and there's no way for him to keep the piece, essentially. I mean, he can't or maintain the pin and really keep this thing going, because I'm threatening to win a full rook now. But so yeah, it's interesting. And if bishop b4 isn't good, I kind of like playing this move order because it tempts black to to give up this dark square bishop, which I think is sort of a cardinal sin in this position. But and probably knight f6 is also not. I think bishop b4 is probably dubious. Then I think knight f6 on top of it is probably dubious. Uh-oh. We're reconnecting, it says. Oh, let me switch views here. I wonder if that works. That did not work. Oh, no. What did I do? I exploded the, Aha! So did that work? Let me do that. Yeah. Working out the blip. Working out the technical difficulties, guys. Don't worry about me. Okay, so... I think that bishop b4 check is probably... Why is that not working? Oh, it's crashing again. We're having a lead chess issue. Oh no. Oop, and we're back. I don't know how well this commentary is going to go. But then I think probably knight f6 on top of it is another dubious move, just because after c takes, white is forced to take with the knight, or white is forced to play bishop takes c3. And if bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and now this, then bishop a4 seems really annoying for black. Just on a practical level. There might be better moves, but bishop a3 seems pretty bad. So, and yeah, takes here. I think I have a multitude of options. I can even take here, but perhaps Stockfish likes taking back, and because I'm hitting the bishop, he still can't avoid this. And he can take here if he wants. It doesn't really matter. Once I take on c6, he's dead because king e7, bishop a3 guards this rook, and so I win a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it already just seems so bad. Castles. I can go c4 right away. Maybe in this case, though, he can contemplate. Yeah, even this isn't good. Even protecting this pawn isn't good because bishop a3, and I'm threatening to take here, and yeah, if he goes here, I'm guessing I can go queen d6. Yeah, and this just seems very bad. e5 is hanging. I can play bishop e7, bishop e7, bishop e6, or I can just make a move like rook fd1 or rook a to b1. Probably I'm still winning a pawn, and I get to keep all the pressure, so this all seems extremely bad. But I decided to go bishop a3 first with the idea that after something like knight b6, which I think is the normal move, queen d8 gains me a move, as opposed to c4, queen b6, or knight b6 right away, queen d8, rook d8. I have bishop a3 in for free in the line in the game, so. And I think knight c3 is probably just a blunder. I don't think this is a good idea. I did miss queen a5, but it really doesn't matter. I think queen a5 is basically the only move, and then after bishop b2, knight a4 is probably the only real move to try and not lose, but okay, I mean, you know, if I'm black, I'm probably going to try something like this, but yeah, there are a lot of options that are really bad for black. Like even just moving the rook, I think is fine. And black just simply can't stop me from winning an exchange here. This line's probably riskier than just taking the piece or taking the two bishops for the rook, for instance, because I can take here, yeah. And this is really bad because if he saves the bishop, I save my bishop, and then I'm just up a clean piece. So yeah, all of this is very bad. But I mean, if you're down, if it looks like you're losing material, I think in this case it makes sense to, like, don't just give up the material for nothing. At least play bishop a4 and make white play bishop takes a4 and bishop f1, bishop e8. Like if something like rook f or yeah, I don't know. It just feels like you have to at least go into the complications here a little bit and hope that white screws up somehow, or go into like a position like, let's say, queen c7. I don't know. What am I going to be down after this? A full rook? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, I was going to say play queen c7, and after this. At least you have your light squared bishop hovering around the king, and there's maybe the like 1% chance that you scam me, but all of these positions are essentially resignable. Yeah, and I like c5 here. I think this is probably the most precise. Shutting out this bishop and preparing this maneuver with rook d6 and rook a to d1. This pretty much just shuts everything down. Yeah, and I think queen g4 is just the best square, because now rook d7 is just an extremely large threat, and it's yeah, the best the computer can find is h5, which is kind of funny. Just simply deflecting my queen away from g7 for a move. Yeah, it's desperate. Yeah, and just, I mean, there's nothing there. So 2 quick games in a row against relatively high-rated players. This guy was 2,200. Unusually rough play. I mean, this guy was lost after 13 moves. My previous opponent resigned on move 13. It's getting rough around here. Maybe I'll record one more. I'm not sure. All right. I will maybe record one more, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.